Hi guys, so today's going to be a little bit different of a video, more of a serious note video. I mentioned before about my relationship with my mom not being so great, and a lot of you guys were curious to know a little bit more about that because I mentioned like if I should talk about it or if I shouldn't. Ooh, turn that off. So I finally like thought about it and I decided that I would talk about it, as hard as of a topic it is because it's still sensitive to me, but yeah, I want to talk to you guys about it because I know some of you guys might be going through a similar experience, and I just know that if someone I looked up to or I knew of someone going through a similar experience that I'm currently going through, it would have made a whole world of a difference to me, and it would have been so much better because I was the type of person who I never told anyone about what was going on, and I just didn't want people to judge me, or my family, or my mom because of it. So so I hope that this will help some of you out there. Okay, so my mom is and was an alcoholic growing up. And I really, like, Mom, if you do see this, I just want to know, like, for everyone out there that I do love my mom so much, but this was a part of my life and I need to share it with you guys. My mom was a great mom when she wasn't drinking and stuff, and I totally, I love you so much, but my childhood was pretty hard growing up. So I guess I'm just gonna talk to you guys about some of the things that I went through. I blocked out so much in my mind from it, so I'm just going to try and tell you guys the stories that I do remember, and obviously not everything's gonna be in this, so don't think that this was the only things that happened. So let's see, I think my mom's been an alcoholic for most of my life, but I say it probably didn't get bad until maybe 6th or 7th grade. When I was in 7th grade, my parents were, my mom and my stepdad. I have a dad who I think they got divorced when I was like 2, or I don't really remember, but my mom and my stepdad were not getting along, and we lived in a house together, me, my mom, my sister, and Bob, who is my stepdad, and they just weren't getting along, so they decided to sell our house, which was like so awesome. It was like a beautiful big house that I had been living in apartments my entire life, and to have this big luxury of a house was just amazing, and they decided to sell it, and my stepdad moved into his own apartment, and then my mom, me, and my sister lived in a ranch, and it was a small, just like, house, and we decided to rent for a year, and that was maybe one of the worst years of her problem. So it was a very rough time. I think almost every single night, and I feel really bad like having to say this, but she was like drunk a lot of the times, and it was just like really hard, especially for someone in 7th grade. I forget how old that is, like 13 years old, but it was just really me and my sister, and we were kind of taking care of my mom. It was very emotionally hard too, to like, I don't know, I couldn't really count on my mom to like be there for stuff that a normal person that age should be able to rely on their mom. And my stepdad wasn't around because he was not getting along with my mom, so he wasn't living there. It was like an off and on thing, but it was just mostly us three. But this one night, oh my god, it was crazy. Oh, well, first of all, I didn't really like having friends over because it was embarrassing. I didn't want people to know about my mom, and she was very embarrassing when she was drunk and like around my friends and stuff. Like I don't know, like if you've ever seen a drunk person, you know that it's embarrassing. But she was never abusive at all physically, but it was a lot of mental abuse. But anyways, for a while I wasn't allowed to have my cousins over because my family knew about her problem and they didn't want their kids to like have to deal with it too. So my cousin Josh, me and him hung out a lot, and he would have to lie to his mom that my mom was like sober and like not drunk, but it was intense. She One night my friend Zach was staying over, and he was out of town. He lived outside the town, like a few towns over, and he was staying for a few nights. And my mom came home and was like freaking out. She was like locking the doors, looking at the windows, locking all the windows, and she was saying like some people were coming after her and like we're gonna get her, and like I'm pretty sure she just made it up all in her mind. And it scared the crap out of me and my friends. So that night we ended up sleeping with knives in the room, and it's just like something that you shouldn't have to deal with when you're younger. And I know a lot of people deal with that. And then there was this one time I couldn't find my mom anywhere, and the front door was open, and I was like, crap, like where is she? So I went and searched for her, and I ended up finding her lying down in our neighbor's backyard. And she was just looking up at the stars and the sky. I actually think the sun was going down, so I don't think the stars were out. But I went up to her, I was like, Mom, like, what the heck are you doing? And I was like trying to get her to go inside, and she was like fighting me about like staying outside and stuff. And she was saying how like she's dying, and like, I don't know, she's like, I'm gonna come back as like a bird or something. And I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? Like, you're not making any sense. And it really scared me because I was like, oh my God, is my mom like really dying? And it was really scary. So the next day, she ended up checking into rehab and was gone for a month. And my mom went into rehab many times throughout my life. I couldn't even tell you how many times. But she'd be gone for weeks at times. So it was, and again, like none of my friends knew about this, just like my immediate family. So it was like I had to come up with excuses of like where my mom was and like what was happening. So that was really hard because like friends would come over and be like, hey, where's your mom? And I'd be like, oh, like she went on vacation somewhere. And it was tough. But anyways, after that year, her and my sister were just like not getting along at all because they would just like always fight, verbal fighting. And it pushed my sister to move out with my real dad, who lived a town over. And at that same time, the 1 year rent at this house was up, so we had to leave. And at that time, my parents didn't really have the money that we needed to like get another house or something, so we were forced to move into an apartment. So it's just me and my mom for a bit. My stepdad and her were still like going off and on, but it was just so hard and like different because here I was just a year late before, living in this awesome beautiful house, to now living in this crappy like 2-bedroom small apartment. And like we had to sell the car, and because it was an apartment, we had to get rid of my dog, and I never even got a chance to say goodbye to him because I was on vacation with my dad. So I got back to this like shock of like, oh my God, we're living here, my dog's gone, and like my sister's gone. And that was really tough. And I was going into 8th grade, which was high school, so there was a lot of like pressure and like nerves, and that was a tough year too. I think the biggest emotional thing for me then was just like my mom got drunk on Christmas Eve, and like she's very annoying when she's drunk. Like she's very sad, emotional, and depressing when you're around that, or like she was. So being around that made me depressed and like upset, and like it was just not a good place to be in, especially like since I couldn't drive at that time, so I was kind of stuck at this place and I just had to deal with it. So that was really hard. I didn't have friends to talk to about it. I never ever had one of my friends come over to that apartment because I was just completely embarrassed to like be living in an apartment where my friends like thought I was like wealthy and like I had like a great family and stuff. So that was embarrassing. And this one time, I can't, like, I don't know, it would be actually a lot of the times I'd come home and she'd be passed out on the couch, which was not even a couch in our living room. It was a mattress on the floor because we couldn't like afford a couch. So that was embarrassing to just like have people over and like see that. This is like really tough to talk about. Like, I don't know. It's really strange. I haven't even talked to most of my friends about this, so it's really weird to actually express this to a bunch of people I don't even know. Not even sure how long this is going to be, but yeah, moving on. So I think my biggest like dream and like hope for around that time was I really wanted my family back together. I wanted to live in a nice house. I wanted a healthy mom, really. I wanted someone that I could rely on because it was constantly like me taking care of her when all I wanted was like a mom to take care of me. And like, I don't know, I just like saw my friends' parents and I was like, I wish like my mom could be like that. And I'm not saying that my mom was terrible 24/7. Like, there was days where she'd be sober and the most amazing mom ever, and that's what I will remember her as, because those are the good things. And she's so amazing. She has like the biggest heart ever, and I love her so much. But she became this totally different person whenever she would drink alcohol. It's not even like it took much to get her drunk. She was like, weighs maybe like 120 pounds, so she could like drink one glass of wine and she'd be drunk. So it was just tough because she had her problems that were causing her to do this. And I mean, it's a blood thing too, like it runs genetically. Alcoholism runs through genetics, so luckily I do not have it, thankfully, I hope. I'm definitely have learned not to be anything like that, so I think that's a big driving force too. But anyways, yeah, that was really all I wanted, was to just have my family back together and just be a normal family and not have to deal with the stress of this. But that never happened. It still hasn't happened. But we did end up getting a house my junior year of school, and that definitely helped. It was like I had a car, we lived in a nice house, like I could have friends over and we could hang out, and it was just definitely a much better environment. But things with her still were pretty bad, and the past few years, me and my mom just like constantly clash because I've had so much anger built up about this. So whenever she'd get drunk, I'd get mad, and it made me feel like, well, if she's drunk, I can treat her and talk to her however I want. So I was very disrespectful and said very mean things to her. But in my mind, I was like, well, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna treat her bad because I'm showing her that I don't like it when she's drunk. And it never fixed it because she was drunk. She didn't mean to do what she was doing. And there was many times where I wouldn't talk to her for days because of something that she did while she was drunk. So basically, my entire high school year was pretty tough, having to deal with my mom taking care of her. Again, all I wanted was her to take care of me. I didn't want to have to be the one to take care of her. But yeah, I guess I got lucky, and I was able to move out and move across the country and kind of leave the drama within my family and live out here and start my own life. So that's been great. And I know I'm very lucky because not everyone gets that chance. But I guess I just want to let you guys know that it does get better. You will eventually be able to choose how you want to live your life, how you want to raise your family, and get away from anything that you want to get away from eventually. But yeah, it definitely gets better. Obviously, it's still happening, but I'm not in that environment, so it's not as bad. But whenever I do go home, it's always the same thing, and I never really want to go home. Like last year, I went home twice. I went in the summer and then Christmas, and both times were just not good, and I don't plan on going back until Christmas because it's just never good. So I hope one day that my mom can be good and healthy and not have this disease, and things can maybe be the way that I wanted them to be growing up. But it definitely made me a stronger person. I know what to look out for with people. I don't like to surround myself with people who excessively drink, just because I have such bad memories, and like anytime that happens, luckily, like when my friends get drunk, it's a good thing. It's never depressing. Not a good thing, I mean, but like a fun thing. It's not like, oh, like blah 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 dramatic, like stuff like that. So that's been alright, but sometimes when that happens, I don't like having to take care of drunk people, and that happened in college a few times. Like one of these girls was like throwing up at the bathroom, and I was like, ha, screw it, like it's her own damn fault, like whatever. So I've kind of like had like a biased opinion towards like people like that. I'm not very caring to people who are drunk. So yeah, I really hope that this story, my story, has helped someone out there who is maybe going through a similar experience to know that like you're not alone, and that life does get better as you grow up. And just stay strong. Try to find one person that you can talk to, maybe tell them what's going on, because I was an idiot and I didn't have that in my life, and I wish that I did. I wish I trusted people more and was able to confide in someone, because I built up so much anger inside me that I have a huge temper. If you get me mad, I have all this rage inside me that I will snap and kill you. No, just kidding, but actually not kidding. I don't know. I've never killed someone, but let's hope I never do. Okay, so I guess I will end the video here. Again, I really, really hope that this has reached out to some people out there, and maybe you know a friend who's dealing with this similar situation, and you could be that person to help them and be their getaway. So yeah, this is a very different video for me, but I wanted to share my experience. And again, I really just don't want this to come off like I hated my mom, because she was a great mom at times, like one of the best moms, I guess. Like if she didn't have this disease, she would be mom of the year every single year, and I wish that could have been her. But not everyone's life's perfect. We all go through our stuff, and I'm not trying to get sympathy from anyone. I'm really not. That's not what this video is about. It's totally about trying to help people out there, because I know I would have loved to watch one of these videos and see that I'm not the only one out there. So yeah, I'm not sure how long this video is, but thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys next time. May the odds be ever in your favor. Goodbye. Okay, so we are out of the Hunger Games thing, and we're just at the mall right now. Hi. Hi. Okay. Hi.